What really struck me was that nearly half of the HBCUs have a freshman class that is 3/4 of students from low-income backgrounds. When you compare that to non-HBCUs, colleges and universities, they are usually at 1%. So 3/4 of a class versus 1%. These were born out of a need to serve Black students who were denied educational opportunities at white institutions. How do you see HBCUs continuing to fill the educational needs for students, and how are they adapting to address the growing economic inequities and health disparities among African Americans?
Young people that you quoted from low-income backgrounds, first-generation college student, that was me. And I just remember many, many years ago, a poor Black girl from the ghetto of Newark, New Jersey, who wasn't fully prepared, but yet I was able to go on to an HBCU in Greensboro, North Carolina A&T. So I know what we do. Our schools educate 300,000 students every year. Students, as you said, who come from low-income backgrounds. Of course, HBCUs do not serve the same purpose as they did when Black students could not attend predominantly white institutions. But they still provide a nurturing environment where the needs of young Black Americans are specifically catered to, both academically and culturally. As explained before, HBCUs provide opportunity for students who are among the first in their families to go to college. They are true mobility drivers. Our schools contribute $15 billion in economic impact to our communities. We produce 130,000 jobs. Almost 47 billion in alumni career earnings can be directly attributed to the degrees that students earn at HBCUs. And then we perform a large amount of public health research in rural and minority communities. And of course, this has been particularly important as we continue to battle the impacts of COVID-19. So our schools have been around for more than 150 years. And we want to be around for 150 more.
You mentioned the pandemic and how HBCUs are impacted and how they act as an equalizer on so many different fronts. What has the role for HBCUs been? How have they, participated in this fight against this virus?
Well, let me just tell you, some of you already know, Black and brown communities are by far facing the worst impacts of the pandemic. And so HBCUs are playing an incredible role in fighting this. We're seeing Black and brown children dying at rates unimaginable compared to their white counterparts. And COVID-19 continues to ravage Black communities because of high rates of comorbidities. But we have examples of HBCUs that are fighting against this. Howard University right here in Washington has been designated as one of the city's key COVID-19 treatment facilities, and it's taken the lead in examining health disparities among African-American COVID-19 patients in Washington. I am proud to say that while my grandson did not follow my steps at North Carolina A&T, he is still at HBCU, Howard University. He's at Howard at home right now, but loving it. But we've seen that HBCUs win grants to ensure free testing for all students, and our hospitals, even Howard has one. HBCU hospitals have also been acting as frontline institutions, helping to provide safe, life-saving care to victims of the virus.
What would you like to see in the agreement that we've come up, and how the HEROES Act can help HBCUs and the students they serve?
The HEROES Act would provide $1.7 billion to HBCUs and other minority-serving institutions for direct emergency funding for institutions who have suffered severe financial losses due to COVID-19. It would also remove the $62 million cap in the HBCU capital financing loan program, which will free up additional resources for our schools to respond adequately to COVID-19. It would also suspend student loan payments through September 2021, and students would be provided emergency grants. You know, this pandemic, we don't know where it's going to be, and so we want to make sure that we have enough time there to help these students.